So today marks the end of mandatory minicamp, and of course, the Bengals are in the news for none other than more contract-related drama. So today's show, we're going to dive into that and some other headlines as well, talk some Bengals football. Let's get the show rolling.
I keep stressing in my mind, day and night.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in. This is 4th and Whodey. If you guys haven't tuned into the channel before, my name's Corey. Run another podcast, Champion Bengals podcast. We're here at Play Action Sports. We're talking just Bengals today on the 4th and Whodey segment, and we got plenty to touch on here, including the drama that surrounds Shemar Stewart and the ongoing negotiations with his contract. But before we get into that, what I wanted to touch on was the news of former linebacker for the Bengals, Germaine Pratt, signing a one-year deal. Worth up to $4.78 million with the Raiders. Obviously, I think the writing was on the wall here. We all knew this was going to happen. It was just the time and the way that it was handled that I think's caught all of us Bengals fans off guard. But seems like the Bengals organization can't exactly do anything right currently right now. So I think we knew the writing was on the wall with Germaine. It's safe to say, like Germaine, everybody has great memories because he's been attached to so many pivotal plays over the past couple of years here for the Bengals. So kind of full circle with the signing of the Raiders here after that pick in the playoff game that sealed the Bengals' first win in forever, my entire lifetime anyway. And he's made some amazing memories here and been part of the ride of the past couple of years. So wish him nothing but the best, but I think we're going in a new direction here. Obviously, Al Golden's got an emphasis on the linebacking unit, especially with the picks that we took this year. We're trying to shore that up, right? So I think touching on this first and foremost, I like taking a look at the roster here. Obviously, we're getting Logan Wilson back, and that's going to be huge, I think, because we missed him last year. And then we went and we got Burks from the Eagles. So I'm excited to see kind of what this linebacker core can do for us this year, because last year I think it was a huge problem. And then you look at the defensive line, they have to step up. I think the secondary, the corners, the safeties, I think they're ready to show what they're capable of. I know a lot of people had us pegged for taking a corner, things like that, safety. I think that position group is great, to be completely honest with you. We got some young talent. I just don't think they were utilized properly last year. We're getting Dax Hill back. And then just if you help with the linebacking core and then you get that front four, that defensive line actually getting pressure and disrupting plays, which is, a big part of why we need Hendrickson and Stewart, and we'll get into that. But I think this defense can be highly underrated, and it's not like we need these guys to be a top 10 unit. Just middle of the pack, create some turnovers, make the plays that needed to be made, and let the offense do what they do best, right? So I'm in the camp of not stressing too much over this. And we'll kind of get into the Shemar stuff here now too, but that's what I wanted to touch on first with Germaine. So let's kind of dive over here, and this is some of the nonsense that we've been seeing floating around here on Twitter. And I don't know about you guys, but I need to check out a Twitter for a week or two just with the nonsense that's been going on. And you get these types of posts from these accounts like ML Football here going, Bengals first-round pick. This is the crap that's been floating around today. Shemar Stewart can sit out for multiple years and then become an undrafted free agent. Stewart can refuse to sign with Cincinnati and sit out for 2025. And this crap is amazing to me because it's like you get a rookie, he's not going to sit out and miss an entire paycheck, an entire season of football, a guy who clearly has some developmental issues already. There's just no shot in hell he wants that. I know this organization can't afford to do that either. I'm also in the camp that's like, dude, if that's what it comes to, at the end of the day, I really don't give a shit. Go and get Trey back out there. We're going to run back the same defensive line. And then what? You're going to put Miles Murphy in that position? And it's like, well, dude's got to show up anyway, so it is what it is. The defense has already gotten better, addition by subtraction. I could give a fuck if the guy is out there or not. And if that's the case, I think that's just, another shot at the front office for taking guys in the first round here where you're giving yourselves your heads a shake. We had plenty of other guys on the board that would have been great, guys that have already signed their contracts. Like, you could have went out, could have got the linebacker from Alabama there that went to the Eagles in the first round. Plenty of other picks we could have taken, but for some reason they wanted to go with Shemar Stewart. So this is kind of their problem. They're the ones with egg on their face at this point, and they keep this going. So until you see otherwise, I don't really know what to say. I don't have anything to defend this organization anymore. I just know that, like, the players, I'm cheering for the players. We got a hell of an offense. We got a lot of young talent on the defense. I'm ready to see. I could care less about this nonsense, and so be it, man. If you want to sit out, the Bengals front office, they want to play this game, then they're just going to forfeit another year of being a competitive football team. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. So let's kind of take a look at what he eventually said here that everybody's kind of up in arms about.
It depends. Like, in my case, I'm 100% right. I'm not asking for nothing y'all never done before. But in y'all case, y'all just want to win an argument instead of winning more games, in my opinion.
So first thing being, right, like, I mean, can you blame the guy? Like, we know that the Bengals front office, that's what they want to do. They just want to win negotiation battles. That's what they do. They could care less about winning games. And you're seeing that, and I think it's like, it's really taking away the fun of, like, the off seasons and everything, because you can't even really talk football. You can't talk Bengals football anymore. It's more just a game of complaining about the front office because of everything that's going on. And it sucks, man. It sucks. And I think the biggest problem I had with last year was these players were so amazing. Like, you had Joe Burrow setting records. You had Jamar Chase, Triple Crown winner. And then you had Trey Hendrickson, sack leader. Like, these players didn't get enough praise for what they actually did because obviously our team didn't make the playoffs and we had so much controversy surrounding the games that we played, that really took away from shining the light on these guys. And they've worked so hard and to get the praise that they deserve. And that was taken away. And that was taken away because of, the shortcomings of this organization and the coaching staff and everything that had happened. And that's the frustrating thing is, like, we don't want to go into another offseason here where we're talking about the nonsense that is the front office of the Cincinnati Bengals. I want to be talking about Joe Burrow. I want to be talking about Jamar Chase. I want to be talking about the players on the field collectively and the excitement that we have for what we can see from them this year, right? That's what you should be wanting to talk about. But instead, this is the shit we're dealing with. And I can't blame the guy for wanting to say that stuff. And he's just like all of us. He's telling you the truth. And you get the people that are in the camp of, well, he's a rookie, this and that. It's like, well, man, can you blame the guy? Like, they're trying to pinch pennies and play this nickel and dime game, and he's just calling a spade a spade. So he's there. He's been taking part in the meetings, everything he can do. So I got no knock on him. This is just unfortunately what's kind of become mainstream with the Bengals organization. And to say that they're going to win any games doing this shit over and over it's just not going to happen. So it's on them to clean this shit up and stop trying to win the negotiation battle, right? But then I came across this comment here from Jesse James. More of my thoughts on the Shemar Stewart contract issues. Sorry, let me bring this up for you guys. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but I think people need to understand the importance of his gripe. Rookies should never just agree to voiding language, and I completely agree. You shouldn't just blindly agree to these things, right? The NFLPA gave up a ton of money for first-round picks when we agreed to the rookie pay scale for draft picks. So obviously with the rookie pay scale, that's changed the way that, picks are being compensated. So the NFLPA agreed to dial back the rookie salary significantly and begrudgingly. What we got in return was fully guaranteed contracts. Now they want to try and take that possibility away. Heck no. Completely understand that, man. dude just wants, guaranteed money. He doesn't want to have to worry about any of that crap, and that's the verbiage that apparently is being put into the contracts here. And it's frustrating to see that because it's constantly with these guys, going on and on about contract stuff, and it's just never ending to me. And I think we're all just exhausted, man. We're exhausted of this front office. They got this circus going, and everybody just we want to talk ball. I don't know about you guys, but I just want to talk ball. I want to talk about these players. I don't want to talk about the front office anymore and their lackluster. I mean, who gave these guys an NFL franchise in the first place? It blows my mind. So I don't know. We're going to have to see how this plays out. But and then you got the Trey Hendrickson news that we haven't even really touched on. We just cut Pratt. We have enough money to sign him. Go sign the damn man. He deserves it. He's a pivotal piece to this team and this defense. And you're not going to win a ton of games if you don't have these guys on the field. It doesn't make any sense to me. So there's really not much more to say about Trey. It's been the same thing over and over. But, I mean, there's some good things, too, we can talk about here in camp. Some things to be excited about, the defense and the guys. I already talked about the young talent on this team and what we want to see. But we also I want to show this nasty throw by 9 out there on the field the other day. And this is the shit I'm looking forward to see, man. Joe's got all his guys back. We got Gesicki, T, Jamar. No contract issues on the offensive side. Look at this. In between 3 defenders. Fucking incredible, man. Burrow's another year removed from the wrist injury. This is what I'm excited to see as the offense go. And we're going to run through this offense anyway. This is the identity of the team here. Like I said, the defense just has to be middle of the pack, make the plays when they need to. This offense is going to make this team go. And the continuity, them being out there, no problems on the offensive side of the ball, I think they're going to be incredibly fun to watch this year. And that's what I want to focus on. I don't want to talk about the ownership and their shortcomings over and over again. Fuck that. We're going to talk about this offense and how electric they're going to be this year. So I just wanted to throw some shine on my guy Burrow there because that throw was disgusting. Now, I want to pull up, so Dan Horde listed a couple observations from the last day of mandatory minicamp. Want to touch on a few of these, so let's take a look at first. TJ Slayton is embracing the role of veteran leader. Obviously, Burrow came out, he made those comments too the other day about Slayton being vocal. He looks great from what I've seen out there. I think he's going to be a huge piece of that defensive line and a big body up front that we needed, and we were just lacking last year. We didn't have the interior, we didn't have the rush on the exterior. The defensive line was a complete joke, and I think Slayton is very overlooked, and I think he's going to be a big piece of this defense, and I'm excited to watch what he can bring to that defensive line. So that's awesome to see. Second, so Notre Dame tied for the NCAA leading defensive TDs last year. Al Golden had the Bengals working on the finer points of INT returns today. He's extremely detailed, said Joseph Asai. He's very hands-on, and I don't know, there's just something about him. He's exciting. So as you can see here, they're running through that, post-INT drill, what everybody's responsibility is, and that's awesome to see. I think details are a huge point of being a successful football team, and this is the stuff you got to practice, man. Situationally, what are we doing? And I know this is, just the general fan wouldn't understand that, hey, when a player makes a pick, the rest of the guys are doing something after that, and that takes planning. And it's nice to see the detailed work being shown here. I'm excited to see what Al Golden can bring to this team and see how we can get these guys going and utilized properly, right? So that's really cool. And then next up, the O-lineman. I know this is probably my biggest area of concern is that guard play, right? I'm telling you, you could Burrow 1 second more, half a second even, to make the plays. His guys are going to be open, and that's what we need from these guards. So I'm really hoping, Fairchild, one of these guys can step in and be a big piece to this offense. We know the tackles are going to be good. Mims is going to step up again. He's second year. He was already great for us last year. Orlando Brown being healthier and back again this year. it's the guards, man. We got to shore that spot up. So it's cool to see. We got a new O-line coach. Hopefully Scott Peters can help this translate, and we'll go from there, right? Like that's a big area to watch, and we all got eyes on that. So next, camp ended with a 54-yard field goal by Evan McPherson. I will say this is the one guy I'm watching, man, because as much as the defense lost games last year, it's I think Money Mac over here had a big hand in losing a lot of those games as well. And he just kind of ended up on the shelf and, kind of disappeared end of the year there with the injury. And I don't think we put enough emphasis on his part in the shortcomings that the Bengals had. He's a guy I'm looking to watch because he is not the same guy from that rookie season, and we're going to need a kicker if we're going to go anywhere this year. So see how that plays out. But aside from that, like, these guys look dialed in. Aside from the nonsense that you see on Twitter, like I said, it's just a bunch of shit that's going on behind the scenes. They're an easy team to make fun of currently. It's unfortunate. Like I said, I'd rather be talking about the players and their potential. But at the end of the day, it kind of is what it is, right? So Zach Taylor talking, Joe Burrow talking. Obviously, they're frustrated with it. I feel bad for Zach. He's kind of in a prove-it contract year. I've never been in the Zach Taylor camp, I will say that. But to kind of take away his first-round pick this year and then Trey as well and have more drama just in camp, it's not a great start again. And I'd like to see what he can do with all of his pieces because I do think this is a big show-it year for Zach Taylor. So, I mean, seems like the team is dialed in regardless. So it's going to be exciting to watch, how this team comes together in the preseason and the rest of camp after this. But, man, Shemar Stewart stuff, Bengals organization, got to figure it out, right? But that's going to wrap up today, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you can do me a huge favor, just hit that bell down there. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have more Bengals content coming your way as well. Just trying to get the show up and running as the season starts. We'll be touching on more stuff as we go along. And we'll be diving into more football stuff over on our podcast channel. That's the Chappie and Bengals podcast. You can check that out on Play Action Sports as well. But appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Take care.